Here my brother and I are at the outlet of Trout Lake and the beginning of the pristine Lardoo River. This is a real neat place because every fall the kokanee from Kootenay Lake come up the Lardoo River to spawn. At the end of September, the Lardoo River is a real hot spot for grizzly bears and for bald eagles that come to feed on the kokanee that are spawning in the Lardoo River. The outlet of Trout Lake is a cool place. It is located at the ghost town of Girard, and it is famous because it is here in the Lardoo River at the outlet that the largest rainbow trout in the world return each spring to spawn.
It's the Girard trout. Barely make it out.
Girard rainbow trout, they're huge. They can average over 7 kilograms. The largest Girard ever landed is said to be about 24 kilograms. And they also live longer than other rainbows. And they live up to 8 years, compared to about 5 to 6 years for a standard Kamloops trout. Here you can see the kokanee in the Lardoo River, a little further downstream from the bridge, and notice how clear and pristine the water is. Tens of thousands of these beautiful red kokanee from Kootenay Lake come here and spawn in the Lardoo River.
Where we had our tent, camping spot, Trout Lake.
I really enjoyed camping here, and we saw schools of rainbow trout in the lake right from our campsite. Here we are a few kilometers south of the bridge down Highway 31. Highway 31 along Trout Lake and down most of the Lardoo River is mainly just a narrow gravel road. Lo and behold, lucky us, we spot a grizzly sow with 2 cubs along the Lardoo River. Just a few kilometers downstream of where we are right now, there's a business called the Grizzly Bear Ranch that caters to tourists that want to come and see the grizzlies that gather in this beautiful part of the world. This is pointing south down the highway towards Meadow Creek and Caslow. This is pointing north down the road towards Trout Lake.
Probably catch up. Yeah. And into that bush. That one stays behind a lot. Now they're in the bush? Yes. I think it smelled us. And that's when I started getting concerned. Well, I think we started going again? Yeah.
We waited by the riverbank, and about 20 minutes later the bears re-emerge and start even coming way closer than they were before. Again, I'm simply amazed that me and my brother are the only people watching these bears. You'll notice that there's nobody else here, just me and my brother watching these bears. There's very little traffic on this road and nobody else to stop. The spot where we're viewing the bears is about 110 kilometers from Revelstoke. Few people realize that within driving distance of Revelstoke, they can come to an area frequented by grizzly bears, and they can commonly see grizzly bears along the Lardoo River. When I say bears are frequently spotted, I should say that it's in the end of September, around the end of September when the kokanee are running. A lot of times you'll see a grizzly sow with cubs or a cub hanging around areas where people frequent because they're less scared of people than they are of the big male grizzlies that may prey upon their cubs. I'm not sure, but maybe this female grizzly has caught wind of our scent because she seems to be sniffing the air a lot. Me and my brother seem to be pretty lucky when it comes to spotting wildlife, especially grizzlies.
Here again is a shot of the schools of kokanee in the river, and this is what the bears and the bald eagles are going for. Maybe I should also mention that kokanee are landlocked sockeye salmon. They're a lot smaller than their ocean-going cousins, but they're genetically identical.
Later in the afternoon, the bears show up again by the bridge, and the mother bear was not one bit scared of us. She actually showed some aggression towards our vehicle.
The bear's going towards the guy.
Watch this. The bear is getting aggravated at the guy yelling at it.
The mother's actually going towards the guy. He's aggravating it. Look, the bears are going towards the guy. Here comes there's a mother in the trees here. 2 cubs and a mother.
Oh, they're the most dangerous ones. Mother with cubs. There's the mother. Yeah.
Mother's out.
By the way, the guy yelling "get" had to run into his camper for safety from a pissed off grizzly that was agitated at him yelling "get" all the time at it.
Goes to show that grizzlies are highly unpredictable. They're very intelligent and they're individuals, and you'll never know how they're going to react.
That guy was very lucky that his camper was close by, or else it could have ended up being a tragedy.
Heading towards the water? Or just get a drink? Wow, so cool watching these grizzlies.
Very, very cool.
They don't appear to be afraid of people.
Looks like these bears are having some salad after having all that salmon. I guess they want some greens in their diet. They want some fiber. Who knows? They're getting sick of just eating just salmon, I guess. This bear seems to be enjoying his meal, and he looks pretty relaxed as well. Even though we really enjoyed watching this mother grizzly with her 2 cubs, it's getting late and it's time to head to our campsite. We haven't had supper yet, so we're going to make some food, and there's other things to do, so we're going to leave these bears alone pretty soon. On a highway west of Caslow, you can go down a gravel road which brings you to the Whitewater Creek Trailhead, and this is a spectacular hike as you can see from the video, and it's also a really hot grizzly viewing area where people frequently see grizzlies, but we personally did not see any bears on this trip.
Although we didn't see any grizzly bears, we did encounter a rather large cougar on the trail that hissed at us before running away. We didn't get any video of this because we thought it was more important to grab our pepper spray than grab our camcorder.
On our drive home, relatively close to home in Manning Park, we decided to go on a hike, and while we're on the hike we encounter a doe with 2 beautiful fawns. These deer make the river crossing seem pretty easy. This would be a challenge for most people.
My brother and I seem to be pretty blessed when it comes to seeing wildlife.